Hello, planet Earth. How is everybody doing this fine evening? I hope you're doing well. My name's Chris Machete. I live in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. I drink beer and watch hockey. And if you see any Toronto Maple Leaf news on your feeds or clickbait kind of thing, don't click on it right now because I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy, the Leaf news that's going on these days. I don't understand it. Because they are just, basically everybody's going to be traded. That's basically what they're saying right now. So don't buy into the hype. All right, so I'm flying solo, as you can see. My buddy Brent is on Venus looking for a brand new television. See what I did there? Yeah, you did. All right, so I'm flying solo. And we got some wrestling for y'all tonight because we watched the big events that were happening we had two pay-per-view wrestling events over the weekend. One of them was AEW, one of them was WWE, and one I like better than the other. So we're going to focus on that one a little bit more. All right. Actually, one I thought, so I thought I liked WWE as a whole, as a show, their event, Night of Champions, and AEW Double or Nothing. I liked their match that they had. One of their matches I thought was the best match. So I thought AEW had the best match of the night, but I thought WWE had the best show of the night. So I'm going to base it on that because I don't have a whole lot of time, as you know. Sometimes I just want to do everything in a show and I plan it out and then reality hits me and I'm like, there's no way I can fit all that in. That's kind of what happened. So here we go. I'm going to dive right into Marvel news. Like, what's going on with Marvel? Every time I want to talk about Marvel, I really have nothing to say about them. But so we have the Ant-Man Quantumania movie is now available for streaming for free, or you can buy, or not for free if you have Disney. So you got to pay for the Disney membership, but then you can watch the newest Ant-Man Quantumania movie, which I watched and gave a little bit of review on last week. If you are not privy to that, go back and watch it. It's on YouTube, my friends. It's on a couple spots, I think, actually. So you can buy the DVD if you want now, the Blu-ray, whatever you're buying those ways, the digital download. You can pick that up, the Quantumania now.
Do people buy DVDs anymore?
Do people buy DVDs anymore? I will put that out to our audience. Do people buy DVDs anymore? I don't know. That's a really good question because I don't anymore. I stopped buying them. So with the Ant-Man Quantumania, and also Guardians of the Galaxy is out in 3 is in the theaters, and it's getting a really good review, very positive review. It's made $530 million so far. Excuse me. I take that. But I don't know how much they're expected to make off that. I just know that's what they've made so far. And it's getting a really good review. It's supposed to be really dark, but really good. So we know Empire Strikes Back was like that. And that was number 2, though. This is number 3. So I know it focuses on Rocket quite a bit. And you get to see a bit about his history and such. So that's pretty cool. That's the kind of stuff I dig and I like to see. So I will watch it when it comes to home viewing because I don't like going out to the theaters that much. I enjoy the movie more. Like, I like getting out. But I more enjoy the dinner I have after or whatever than I actually do sitting in the theater and watching a movie. I find that I can't relax in there. I don't know. Does anybody else find that way? Can't really relax in the theater. I find it much more enjoyable to zone out on my couch and watch it. It's great. Because then if I got to go to the bathroom and freeze it or something, good stuff. So Marvel, what's going on, man? So we also have the Secret Invasion movie. And that's with the Skrulls. We saw part of this in Captain Marvel, right? And the Skrulls are going to invade Earth. If you are privy to the comic books, huge storyline in Marvel Comics. Had its own short run there. So that's coming up. And that's all really I got to talk about. I don't know. Marvel, what are you doing, friends? Every time I come on here, every week, I want to spread the Marvel word because, I've been a Marvel maniac for ages since I was just a youngling. But there's not much to spread these days. Although I say if you got Ant-Man on Disney, of course, watch it. There's tons of Star Wars Easter eggs in there because it has a very, very Star Wars feel to it. And if you like that, you're going to dig it. It goes on a little slow. It's a little slower paced. But the graphics are really cool. Really cool. Okay, so that's Marvel. Star Wars. What's Star Wars got going on? Now we got Ahsoka. Now I'm stoked for this. As we know, Rosario Dawson played Ahsoka in The Mandalorian. I think it's season 3? Or we just have season 3?
Yeah, season 2. Season
2. Okay, I'm bad with numbers, folks. So my seasons, they kind of blur together sometimes. But we had Ahsoka, and she was really, really cool. She could talk to Grogu, and she found out some information from him, which was really, really rad. You gotta like that. As immediately she talks to Grogu, and you're like, oh man, this this character's cool. But you may know her from the Rebels cartoon as well, and other cartoons. She was actually Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, and hopefully that will come back around in her own solo show, and that's going to be star on Disney, of course, who owns it all, and that's one of the shows that's coming up for Star Wars. That's August, so that's just in like 2 months. So Star Wars has something coming out of interest that I'm pretty stoked about. I want to see. See, the thing is about also with the Ahsoka show is we're going to get. I just have to find the page where I wrote all this down, this interesting information down on. Where did I write it all down? Oh, I lost it. Okay, so there's going to be a whole bunch of characters from the storyline from Rebels that's going to be in there, and we're going to see a lot more really cool stuff. Like Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to be in there, and he is leading towards being our brand new bad guy as well. So the whole bad guy in the new Star Wars movies is going to start in these next few shows that come out, and most likely the kickoff was the last one we saw in The Mandalorian. So we're going to Ahsoka now in August, and here are the other characters. I found them. You're going to have Sabine Wren, who is a Jedi, and we lost him. He took off with Thrawn, actually. So when we find Thrawn, we find Sabine Wren, who is a Jedi, and he should be pretty powerful by now. We've got Ezra Bridger. Ezra Bridger is the Jedi. Sabine Wren is a female character. Sorry, my mistake. And she's a pretty rad character herself. Ezra Bridger is the Jedi who's in there, and he was becoming pretty powerful. And he is the one who took off with Thrawn. They hooked up with those whales that teleport that we got to see in The Mandalorian season 4 at the beginning here when they were flying. The first episode, we saw those whales that teleport you and take you different places. So that's where Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn are. Are you following me? I don't know. Maybe not. My Star Wars fans are. So you're going to have Thrawn in there. You're going to have Zeb. Aurelius, I believe is his name, and he's not a human. I can't really describe. Great big dude. But he's going to be a character that's going to be in the Ahsoka series as well, which is going to lead us to Thrawn, which is going to lead us to the new movie series, our big bad guy. So Star Wars news, right? That's pretty cool. You got to like it when there's some Star Wars news coming around. I do. More than Marvel's going on, I tell you. I don't know. And the Marvel comics, there's not really much I can tell you there either. I don't know. I'm still buying the Daredevil and Amazing Spider-Man religiously. But I did pick up some great dollar books of Web of Spider-Man from my online auctions. And I'm sorry, my allergies up here. From online auctions. And I got a whole stack of Web of Spider-Mans that I got for less than $1 each. I'll show you those on my TikTok. So that is Chris Machete on TikTok, correct? Yeah, Chris Machete, TikTok. That's where you see those. They're coming in. Okay. DC news. Do we have any DC news? I don't know, do we? Let's find out. Well, June 16th, which is really soon, that's just in a couple weeks, right? We've got the Flash movie coming out, June 16th. Now, what are they going to do about Ezra Miller here? I don't know what they're going to do because that dude has some really bad press. Now, we've witnessed what's happened with Marvel and their villain in as Kang. Oh, so he's got some major woes in his real life. He's a little bit of a ruffian with his wife. So we've got some problems also with Ezra Miller, who is a bit of a cultist. I don't know what he's doing. He's mean to his fans. He'll say stuff like to them, I will take a photo with you, but I might punch you. And he's being serious. He's being serious with it.
Kidnap kids.
And he's kidnapped kids. I don't want to get too freaky on it, but that's what he's doing. So I don't know what they're going to do with The Flash, which comes out on June 16th. And then we've got The Blue Beetle in August, which again, okay. Not totally stoked about that, but I'm not upset about it either, right? Okay, so I lost my graphics. There's my graphics. Awesome. All right, now, as I mentioned, Brent is not here again. Now, I'd like to make excuses for Brent as to where he goes and what he's doing, but I have a bit of a theory. All right. Love that intro. My fans, my friends, my family in the cult of Machete. Cheers to you. Hope you're enjoying the sunny weather, as I am. Beautiful stuff. Okay. My buddy Brent. Nah, man, he's a buddy of mine, right? But sometimes he doesn't come to our show. He doesn't show up for our podcast here, and I do make excuses for him. But this is more and more looking like something that could be not just a conspiracy theory, but something that could actually be happening. I don't know. See, the coincidence is that I think he's in Saudi Arabia right now. He's always around and close to where these events are. That wasn't Brent. This is Brent. Is Brent really LA Knight? WWE wrestling superstar? Look at that. Look at that. I'd like to get both of them on the show at the same time so we could maybe, debunk it, come to a conclusion on this. So LA Knight, if you're listening, my friend, big fan, would love to see a lot more of you on the programs, and I would love to have you on my program. And that way we can debunk the fact that Brent Donnelly is really LA Knight. So that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, peace and love, Brent. He's out there. He's pretty hard to replace on the show, right? I know Ball Bouncing Bill wanted to come on here and replace him, but no, that wasn't going to happen. So over the weekend, though, it was funny, though. So we're going to do the I keep wanting to call it WWF, right? Because I'm an old school watcher. So WWE Night of Champions. It wasn't really nighttime, though. It was in the afternoon. It was 1 in the afternoon it started, which I was fine with. It was kind of entertaining, but it wasn't the night. Although I did have to take off for beer during the Gunther match. Unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. I'm a big fan of his as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the pay-per-view Night of Champions that I watched with my wife over the weekend. It was a pretty rad event. Okay, so we're going to start with... Let's start with the first match. Now, first of all, this was in Saudi Arabia. And the thing that I like about the events when they're in Saudi Arabia is the crowd goes crazy for this stuff. They really appreciate it, and you can tell. It's really cool. They really go wild for it. So you had to go Saudi Arabia. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good night. I know I was enjoying my evening or my afternoon of watching it. Our first match in Saudi Arabia. Night of Champions WWE live event was Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the new world title. So we have a brand new belt here, and these guys were in a tournament with others. Here's who we got. So we're going to see a belt change here in Saudi Arabia, which we don't see that often, but there was more. This was a really good match. As you know, I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins. Let's get that out of the way at first. I don't like his Joker laugh. I think his persona is not working for him. I think he's a fantastic wrestler, though. Rad personality. Just doesn't have. I just don't think he's found what his personality should be. And his song is not a song; it's a chant. I will fight this all day and night long. That is not a song. That is a chant. That's a chant. It's not a song, so it can't be the best song in wrestling. So on the screen, if you are watching, you're seeing the curb stomp. That's how Seth Rollins ended it. Triple H did a big presentation at the end and gave him the new belt, and he deserves it. I'm going to say Seth Rollins does deserve it. I just don't like his shtick right now. I think he could come up with something way better. And his song is not a song; it's a chant.
Maybe he needs a manager to talk better.
No, he does talk good. I just don't like his shtick. I don't like his Joker kind of wise guy, flashy shtick. I don't like that. I think he should be more of a I'm coming to get you shtick. I'd like that. Anyway, let's move on to our next match, which was Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, is where Trish Stratus is from. And there she is on the bottom right. Becky Lynch up top. Now, we'll notice that Becky Lynch is in the Kill Bill outfit. How cool is that? When I saw that coming, I was pretty stoked because we all know I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. Big time. So there's the man, Becky Lynch, getting ready to fight Trish Stratus. Who do you think's going to win this one? Huh? Who do you think's going to win this one? Well, we had some interference. Zoe Stark came out from underneath the ring and gave, what really looked like a stiff knee to Becky Lynch. Like she was bleeding after from her nose pretty badly, and we've seen this from Becky Lynch before. But I rewatched it, and I believe it was the Zoe Stark knee to the noggin that did it, not what Trish Stratus did. Not what Trish Stratus did. I'm not going to say that again because that is a tongue twister, my friends. So I'm thinking she got a stiff knee, man. So I don't know if she's pissed off about that. Maybe we'll see a receipt from Becky Lynch on Zoe Stark. I keep wanting to say Zoe Starks as well, because we have another Starks in AEW wrestling. So
Can make one.
Yeah, you can make a comment. The producer wants to make a comment.
I like how Becky Lynch made an ode to Kill Bill.
Yep. Yeah, Lonnie liked the ode to Kill Bill, as I did. That outfit was great. That was really, really cool. And you notice that they are done right up to the neck. Like, they don't usually have their outfits that tidy. So she went for the really cool way. She's awesome anyway, huh? Like Becky Lynch, boom. Hopefully. Yeah, so she lost, though. So because of interference, she lost, dude. Mm-hmm. And got the bloody nose. We don't have a picture of the bloody nose, I guess, huh? That's okay if we don't. Just checking. Keep it clean, Lonnie. Good job. Third match. Now, this third match, I had to go and get beer. And this is the Gunter with Gunter against Mustafa Ali. All right, there's a good shot. Mustafa Ali has been really coming on strong lately, and having the match being in Saudi Arabia. A lot of folks thought this might be his shot. This might be his shot, and this might be Gunter's end of his reign. His legendary reign here. Now, we all know I'm a big fan of Gunter. I think he's just your classic wrestler, and I love his posse he brings with him. I get a kick out of those guys. Excuse me. I get a kick out of his posse, I think. And I think he's a really good wrestler. Both these guys put on a really good show. A really good show. From as I mentioned, I left, but I did rewatch it the next few days. I find that Gunter is like your classic brick house wrestler that if you're going to put him out, there has to be something that I have not seen done to him yet. So I don't know if it's going to take like a heel to just devastate him through a table or something, maniacal. But I can't see him losing anytime soon. He's powering through. And as I say, he beat Mustafa Ali, and it was a good match. I think if Ali won, it would have been a huge upset, because we all know that Gunther's kind of the man right now when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship. And that's a prestigious belt. That belt really should have some honor to it. And I think that he's holding that up. So we got Gunther in that one, match 3. I thought that was a great match as well. I enjoyed that one. I always enjoy Gunther's matches. Okay, number 4. We've got, who do we got here? Asuka versus, what are you looking at? Oh, you got that there? Cool. Was it Brianna Banks? No. Bianca Belair. There we go. Sorry. Bianca Belair, the champion, women's champion, versus Asuka. And I'm a big fan of Asuka. I think she's awesome. And she was smiling through this match. Holy cow. She was happy camper. I couldn't help but smile too even when she was taking bumps, she was smiling. Pretty rad. Okay, so our champion avoided the blue spray, and I just kind of looked away and looked back, and it was kind of all over her. It was all over her backside. So I think the heat between them has kind of been on and then off and then on and then off. And we all know that Belair was having a record holding of the title as well. So this was a pretty big thing for Asuka to win here. And another thing was that a lot of folks, including my co-host Brent, were thinking that not a lot of titles were going to change hand here. So we already saw one title change hand, and now Bianca Belair lost this one. So what Asuka did was she reached in her mouth and pulled out some of that blue goo that she spits, and she put it in the champion's eyes, and she couldn't see what she was doing, so she took advantage of that and pinned her. And Bianca did the kayfabe through the whole match and through the ending of it, and like she couldn't see, she was doing the whole blind thing. So I love it when they really take it seriously. And so she was taken out and acting like she couldn't see. So again, Asuka reaches in her mouth, pulls out blue goop, puts it in our champion's eyes, pins her, wins the match. We have a new women's champion. I believe that's the Raw title that she has. Or is it SmackDown? No, Raw. So there's another title change. Way to go. So this has become a big match. So again, I'm watching this in the afternoon, and I'm stoked. I had more beer by this time as well. As I mentioned, I'm Canadian. I play hockey, and I drink beer. So we're going to move on from match number 4. And that was a good one. Like, if I was going to rate these matches, I'm going to go back a bit here. The Seth Rollins AJ Styles match, I would give that a B+. I thought that was really cool. The only thing I didn't like about it is I don't like Seth Rollins' shtick right now. But that was a really good match, dudes. That was a really good match. Seth Rollins had a spot, I forgot to mention, where he jumped off the top rope outside the ring and acted like he buckled his knee. And it looked like he actually did. I was actually discussing with the friends watching it about, whoa, did he actually hurt himself here? He kayfabed that really well. So that might bump this up. I forgot about that. I just saw it on my list. That's going to move this match up to an A-. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was really, 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 really well played. And the fact fact that I wasn't cheering for Seth Rollins and he won kind of made it a little more for me. You know what I mean? You do. All right, now the Becky Lynch Trish Stratus match. I can't say Trish Stratus. There, I said it. Okay, so I'm going to give this one. Thank you for putting the graphic up again. Yeah, so I'm going to give this match. I thought this was a B. It was pretty solid. Especially Trish Stratus. Trish has not wrestled in, I guess it was 3 years. They said. So I'm going to give this a B basically because of that. I could give it more, but a bit of swerve in there from under the ring that was okay. I didn't understand why Becky Lynch lost this other than to give Zoe Starks a bit of a push. So good for Becky Lynch to not only give Trish a push, but to give Zoe Starks a push. She did come out with that huge bloody nose. It'll probably benefit her in the long run more than anyway, and giving her that man again. So that match I'm giving a solid B to. All right. The next one we have our Gunther Mustafa Ali, and that match again I'm going to give that one a B as well. Just a solid match. Nothing. The other thing was there was nothing too out of the ordinary that flicked the meter more than normal. Believe me, they did flick it. It's good. Flick it good. No jabronis in this match, man. That was a good one. Again, a solid B. It was a good match. And then we have our Bianca Belair against Asuka match. I'm going to give that one a solid B as well. I thought that was a great match. I can't complain about anything. And I love the way the kayfabe was played in with the blindness in the eyes at the end. I thought that was great as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, this is a weird match, friends. This was Rhea, my personal favorite. You know that? There's Rhea Ripley. Yes, we named my fish Rhea Fishley after Rhea Ripley. So we like Rhea. Again, you can see the ladies are done right up to their necks, but they pull it off and they look amazing. People make a big deal about how they had to change their wardrobe. I think it's cool. I didn't see anybody out there where I was like, wow, that looks stupid. I like their outfits better than I like Seth Rollins. Let's just put it that way. So we have our personal favorite here, Rhea Ripley against Natalya. And this is Natalya's birthday. She's out here, right? And she got squashed. This was a squash match. Kind of saw it coming. I believe I called to myself and the friends watching that if there is going to be a squash match on today's program, it's going to be this match. And indeed it was. Now there's rumors that Natalya possibly hurt her leg being thrown into the steps on this match. I don't know. I didn't see her holding her leg and tell me if she tried to get out of the ring. She was holding her head when I saw her from the impact of the final move. So the rumors about this match and the uproar, people saying, wow, were you flying Natalya all the way out there on her birthday just to have her squashed? But, a trip to Saudi Arabia, and it looked like the wrestlers were having a lot of fun. I saw footage of them at parks and such like that, and touching statues and just having the folks in Saudi Arabia treat them really well. And one of the clips was of Rhea Ripley, and she just looks like she's enjoying every moment. So it's awesome to see that because you want her to succeed. Some other celebrities and people you will see on TV and such, and you're wondering why they're there and kind of wish they wouldn't succeed. Kind of not a good thing to think about, but hey, Rhea Ripley is really digging what she's doing. So this match, wow, squash match.
What do you rate that?
That's the thing. She kind of. What's me using all these S words tonight? I'm killing myself. She kind of should have squashed her.
You didn't need the should, but
okay. It seems right that it was a squash match because Rhea's the unstoppable force right now. It just seems kind of dirty to do it on Natalya and on such a big on Natalya. Why not bring somebody up from NXT?
Yeah.
Who's new and have her why not have Zoe Stark in that one and have her get squashed instead and have Natalya come out and help Becky Lynch? I think that would have worked out better for everybody involved. But who knows? Maybe she did hurt herself. We'll find out. Well, Raw's on tonight. It might be on right now. I watched the later version. We'll find out. That's what I was mentioning. The good thing about wrestling is always something to talk about. Okay.
Sorry, you didn't give it a B.
I'm about to. I'm going to give it because here's the thing. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I'm going to give it a B minus because if I take out the equation that Natalya isn't getting done dirty here, being brought all the way out there, she probably should squash her because Rhea's on the way of big things. People love Rhea. She's supposed to be a heel. She's supposed to be booed. She's with the most despised wrestler in WWE right now, and people love her. We love her. Mm-hmm. We named our fish after her, Rhea Fishley. So I'm going to say a B minus just because she should have squashed her, and it's good for the momentum. And good for if Natalya did do that, give up the show for her. Good for her. Giving her a push. Good job. So I say B-. Brock versus Cody. Now, I was really surprised how much the crowd loved Brock Lesnar. Surprised, but not surprised, I guess. Look at that guy. He's a beast. Okay, friends. We've been following this battle for a while. Brock versus Cody. Brock versus Cody. This is the third one. We were all tied up. Brock got the first one. Cody got the second one. Cody's coming into the third fight with a cast on because Brock broke his arm on SmackDown. Tried to make it so he couldn't fight. That did not work. We can see in the graphic if you're watching this. There's this cast on there, the black cast. Looks like he's about to twist his arm right off. So what we had here was the finish of this. And who won? Well, you can see who's got the upper hand there is Brock. Brock put him in submission to the point where he passed out. So he didn't really tap out, he passed out. So that kind of shows to Cody's, his drive. His drive to become the champion. He just passed out. He didn't give up. You know they're going to ride off of that for sure. So what I think is going to happen here is Brock's going to probably go after the title next, and it looks like he's got a good shot because Roman's world's falling apart, which I'm going to get to here in a couple more matches down, or maybe the next match. Yeah, the next match, we're going to talk about that. So Lesnar won this one. Brock Lesnar beat Cody Rhodes, put him out, passed out, and I guess a B- because I don't know. There was nothing really special going on. I guess it's part of the story. And it's being dragged out a bit, but it finished it off. I think Lesnar's going to work on the title now. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm going to give that match. I gave that match like a B-, maybe a C. It was just like it wasn't.
I liked it.
It was okay, but it was just the third time, and I know they wanted to show Saudi Arabia this match because they loved it, and they did. So good for the Saudi Arabia fans too. They were way more excited than the AEW fans at Double or Nothing. I'm going to talk about that at the end, but yeah, there's that match. So yeah, I B-, C+, somewhere around there. Now we got our main event. Live from Saudi Arabia. Main event. We've got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the tag team champions, unified. They got both belts against Roman Reigns, the unified champion, singles champion, and his buddy and his bodyguard, Solo Sikoa. Now, Solo Sikoa is going around punching everybody in the throat with his thumb. And I got to find a match where Solo Sikoa actually has a really good match. It must be buried deep in his career. Because I don't see him have really good matches, but he does punch people in the throat really well. Now, this is cool. This is cool. Because I kind of had the feeling going into this wasn't really about the tag team match. This was more about the Uso brothers and their relationship with Roman and Solo. Now, this isn't this is arguably the best storyline going on in wrestling today, sports entertainment. Yeah, we're crumbling. The bloodline's crumbling. So this was shocking. Jimmy Uso gave Roman Reigns the boot to the head, and I think my neighbors could hear me when that happened. I was just like, yeah, woo, woo. I liked it. Good kick to the head. His brother come in, was like, what the heck are you doing? Oh my gosh. Jimmy said, I don't know. I better kick him again. So he kicked Roman again, knocked him out. It's great. That was great. So that was the big deal, is that the Usos have left the family. They're out.
Good question.
Yeah.
So they never finished the actual match, right?
No, they did. Well, the thing is that...
Oh, yeah, right.
No, what happened there? Was disqualification?
No, I think...
Wow, that's funny. See, here's the thing. This is really funny. No, because they kept the titles. No, I do know that. Sorry, but this is the cool thing that I mentioned is that the storyline with the Usos and the family more outweighed the battle between who's going to win the titles, right? So we did have Sami Zayn retain the titles though, and Owens, yeah, the KO Bros, they retained the titles, but the family's falling apart, and that's why I could see Lesnar going after the title right now, and then WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes comes back and goes after Lesnar for the championship and defeats him finally. So this match here, this was an A match. I loved it because what went on around the match was more intriguing than the match itself, and you need that sometimes. That was fantastic. I thought that was really well played. Really well played.
Story.
Good story. And this was our last match of the night on WWE. Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. So as I said, the whole thing together, I gave a B+. I thought it was really, really good. The other one was what What was the other one? Oh, the AEW event, right? Double or Nothing. So it's funny because I thought that Contest of Champions as a whole was better than the AEW event, but I thought that AEW event had a better match. Actually, there's two of them. The last two matches, Sammy Guevara, oh man, and MJF, and two others, Jungle Boy, and one more, Sting's companion there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm blanking on his name. But that was a great match. It'll come to me again, and I know. Sorry, I'm like so many names. I'm trying to. Darby Allin. Wow, that was a great match, and those were the first four individuals. Some of the first four individuals of the younger guys in AEW to start off with. So they all had a four-way match to see who would win that, and I thought that was fantastic. That was like an A match to me. That was a really, really good match. The winner was MJF, of course, the biggest heel and the greatest heel in wrestling today, in my opinion.
Pretty good talker.
MJF owns the mic. He's in really good shape too. He's a good wrestler. So he retained the championship and spiffy way too. Yeah. Rad dude, rad match. That was great. And of course the other one was the like John Moxley's nuts, huh? Like he's just nuts. I think they're just like they get a group of his friends and then they got like the Elite out there. Kenny Omega and the twins and such, the brothers. Hangman. They say, let's just go at it and see how much we can F each other up. Because they were all over the arena. But I like that stuff. But man, I asked you wrestling fans, has Moxley lost? John Moxley, has he officially lost his mind? He's crazy, and I love it. I think it's great. So I thought that match at the end there, and it was like the Elite against the Blackpool club there. Moxley and his gang is what I call it. Man, his hooligans. There's a live band playing Wild Thing throughout it. And that was another A match. So I thought those two matches were better than a single match in the WWE event, but I thought that the WWE event was better in a whole, and the crowd in Saudi Arabia were way better than the crowd at Double or Nothing, man. Double or Nothing crowd seemed pretty bored, and I didn't get that. That's not really cool. It's AEW, man. Gotta be on the edge of your seat. All right, so there's my review of the weekend events. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't, let me know down below. I'd love to hear about it. I'll talk about it. Now, we got time to do this. Worst gimmicks ever in wrestling sports entertainment. I love this kind of stuff. Gimmicks, shticks, kayfabe. Oh, man. This is just a few of them, and in no particular order. First one I'm going to do is the legendary one, the Shockmaster. Look at that. So if you're not watching, you're listening, we got a guy with a Stormtrooper helmet, spray painted with glitter. And to top it off, he falls through a wall and trips. And his helmet falls off. This is legendary. So if you are a wrestling fan and you have not seen this, this is the Shockmaster from WCW Wrestling. You just got to go watch the video. I'll get tagged if I show it. I got to be really careful what I play here. That was just insane. Look at his helmet. Who's going to take that guy seriously? And his voice was coming through the speakers and was overdubbed by somebody. It wasn't even the guy. Yeah, and the people that he was supposed to fight was like Sting and all these other guys and British Bulldog, and they're laughing like, oh, he fell right on his arse. You gotta watch the video. I can't do justice to it, but that's like one of my favorite ones. That one's just.
Was that a one-timer?
They make fun of it. No, I think he just did that once. I can't. If it was just twice, but that was great. Okay, another one here. This is the Gobbledygooker. And this was in WWE WWE. It would have been WWF back then. And this is 1990. Hector Guerrero got to go in the costume there. They had this egg, and they'd show it at events, and they'd say, "Oh, what's in the egg? We're gonna find out Thanksgiving. Oh, what is it?" I think it was Thanksgiving. Turned out it was the Gobbledygooker. Look at him.
Was it a puppet?
I think it's like, no, it was a guy. So I'm going to say.
Oh.
It was Hector Guerrero of the Guerrero family. Sidebar. This was the start of The Undertaker, and he didn't know whether he got the Undertaker gig or he got the turkey gig. Oh. So he showed up like, oh my God. So he got lucky.
Oh.
Yeah. But poor Hector Guerrero got this. So that's a gimmick. Look at that one. Can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh.
No belts for that one. 1990. Just the end of the 80s, right? Now, the next one, I didn't like this one. This was one that was just, I thought, in bad taste. I don't have a picture of it. And this was Eugene. This was 2004. And he is the nephew of the Raw manager, as I put it in quotes and wink at you. And he was mentally challenged. So that's not cool. Again, you can get away with a lot of stuff back then. Nowadays, you look at it, and it's very, very cringeworthy. So I'm not going to touch on too much other than it was in very bad taste. I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon did this just to entertain himself. He did a lot of things like that, which is something we should talk about one time, is all the stuff that he did just to entertain himself with humans. Yeah. Anyway, Eugene, WWE, WWF 2004. That's Nick Dinsmore playing him. And he played Eugene, handicapped individual wrestling. Not cool. This one's hilarious. And this one ends really well, though. This guy's name is Isaac Yankem. 1995, the dentist. Don't got a picture of him because I don't need a picture of him. He was a dentist. Picture a psycho dirty dentist. Now, furthermore to that, it was later to become Kane. So that dude, if you see him, that's Kane. Isaac Yankem. He was a dentist, an evil dentist who pulled your teeth. I don't know if he actually pulled anybody's teeth. What a finishing move that would be. He actually pulled out his incisors. What are we going to do?
Well, the one guy really cut hair, right?
There's blood. Oh, Brutus Beefcake actually cut hair. Maybe. Yeah, I guess he did, right? He cut some of it. You'd have to be down with that. You can cut my hair. I'm due. All right. Isaac Yankem. Okay. The Yeti. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. This is insanity. This is just great, though. Where are you, Yeti? I can't find... I found the Yeti. 1995 again. Whoa, what's with 1995? Ron Rice played this one. Look at that. It's the Yeti. Now, the thing about the Yeti, he was with the Dungeon of Doom. And his finishing move was apparently to dry hump somebody. Because what he did was he jumped in the ring. It was a pay-per-view. I can't remember which one it was. Probably a Halloween one. And he dry humped Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. I think it was supposed to be like a bear hug. But if you watch the footage and you look at it.
Oh, jeez.
He dry humps him. It's pretty rude. Jokes were made about it as well. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Oh, I believe there are memes. We just need to find them. You know what I mean? I believe we just need to find them. That's insane. That's my last one there.
MySpace.
That's MySpace. We have to go back to MySpace to find it, right? Man. So I've really started enjoying wrestling again. I can't and I won't decide between AEW and WWE unless it's a show like this where I have to whittle between because of time, because I find them both really enjoyable. The thing about AEW is if you're a classic fan, they've really, or an AEW fan, they've kept that classic style going on, especially with the outlook of the ring and such. WWE, who used to be WWF, their production's amazing. It is like a Kiss concert. It's a great comparison if you're into music. It's like a heavy metal rock show. They do, the production values are like way up here. AEW's production values are getting up there, but I find they still have more of the tons of blood, foreign objects, crazy what the F moments that ECW used to have. And then you combine that with the classic way also of WCW, and you got your AEW, which is really, really cool. Now, do we bring over that picture of Raven that I had or no? There it is right there. Okay. This was my favorite moment in wrestling other than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was brand new. I was lucky to be on the cusp of the Hulk Hogan movement so that I could get in on the whole WWF. I was there when it started, brother. I was there when it started. And I'm very lucky. I remember traveling around and watching different wrestling shows in different time zones when I was a kid, when my parents would travel like on the vacation movies, and I would just try and catch different wrestling shows, and it was great. My favorite era was this right here of ECW wrestling, and this was in the mid to late 90s, and that's Raven. If you can't see it, he's holding both belts, the tag belts. He gives one to Tommy Dreamer here, and that arena there in Philadelphia, I believe that's the Philadelphia arena. Man, oh, EC Dub. Just the memories of it, of coming home late from gigs or just hitting the bar and knowing that it's on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I loved it. And there was so much of people out there who are watching wrestling who are like, this is perfect. They captured the grunge movement in music, as you can see in Raven's clothing there. He came down to even flow, I believe, off the beginning there. And that was the other cool thing. Back then, you could use songs and you wouldn't get sued for it. I remember Sandman used to come down to the song Enter Sandman by Metallica, And he would basically go around for the whole song, and his shorts would be just loaded with these beer cans. He'd wear those pants, those cargo pants with all the pockets, and he'd just keep popping out beer and sharing them and that was like his shtick. That was like his Hulk Hogan entrance, and people loved it. People loved it. RVD came out at this time as well and was just killer. Man, Sabu, who was in the AEW sidebar. Sabu is again. Oh, him and Raven, my favorite wrestlers on that ECW time. Sabu was in the AEW event. And it was really sad. So that's why I didn't want to talk about it too much, because I didn't think it was played out very well. I'm a big Sabu fan. But the ECW, and if I put this is the vibe of this back then. Like they had their finger on the pulse of wrestling and their finger on the pulse of music. And when you bring that together, we've seen how that happened. That happened with wrestling, with WrestleMania, the wrestling and rock. They brought Cyndi Lauper in there and all kinds of Alice Cooper later. They did the combo. Now, ECW didn't have the actual musicians, but they were using the music. I remember hearing some great Soundgarden tunes on there for some of them. And on the other side of things, the Gangstas would come in playing, oh man, I think it was some NWO music, and they would play that through the whole match. Boom, 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 I can't do it. But they would play that through their whole match. And the hardcore element of it, the blood, the insane jumps, every time you tuned in, they had to raise the bar. These guys hung out backstage and would joke about how much beer they would drink and how much drugs they would do, and then they would challenge each other to elevate their game. By the end of it, they had guys like New Jack jumping off the rafters and getting seriously hurt. If you have not seen Dark Side of the Ring, anything on ECW, but more so about Jack, wow. It's just, again, it gets me speechless, because that guy's life was crazy enough. New Jack was nuts, but to see some of the stuff that he's done, whoa, to other wrestlers especially, wow. But put to himself, he was like strung out all the time doing those. And that's another. So we were talking before, we got to wind down here shortly, my folks. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm Chris Machete. I'm the owner of Machete Comics. I didn't even pimp my company yet, I don't think. But I have mentioned hi to my folks out there watching. Right on. We get together for barbecues now because of the nice weather, but we get together for dinner every weekend. And we were watching WrestleManias, which was fun because hockey's over. Leafs are gone. Sniff, sniff. So we watched A Dark Side of the Ring of Macho Man Randy Savage and Elizabeth. And it was great. They loved it. We all loved it. I love that kind of stuff. If you're into wrestling and you have not seen the seedy side of it, the dark side of it, the Dark Side of the Ring, you got to watch these, man. They're fantastic.
You can watch them on Tubi for free.
You can watch them on Tubi for free, which is that's the most popular stream device of the month. Out of Netflix and everything. So and Bean seconds that. Sorry, I saw that today. Or is it Hulu? It's Hulu.
Oh, okay. We don't get Hulu.
We don't get Hulu, but I think that's the one that's the most popular stream device right now. What do you stream through? Let me know below. I'd like to know. And what era of wrestling did you most enjoy, or do you enjoy it right now? Is that what your bag is? Huh? Do you have any you hated? I always hated George Animal Steel as well. I could never stand George Animal Steel. He just bugged me. I didn't think he was a good wrestler, and I just thought his shtick, I wanted to beat him up too. Every time he tore those turnbuckles apart with all the foam in there, and it's like, what? Why are you doing that, jerk? And apparently, he was the narc. He'd narc out all the wrestlers when they'd go out and drink and stay out too late and break curfew and stuff. So, yeah, I never liked George Animal Steel. So, any wrestlers you just hated? And it's funny, I didn't know that he was a narc back then. I was just a kid. I would hate him even more if I'd known back then. As a teenager, he was a narc, though. Narc. Yeah, anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Awesomeness. The weather's so beautiful here. All I want to do is spend time outside lately. So I got to get back in and get Machete Comics work done. As I was talking about my new school venture, I still haven't solidified everything. So I can't talk about the super fine details. But the Chris Machete School for Gifted Youngsters is coming. It's coming in July. I'm very excited about it, Kingston. The kids are going to get back in there, and rock and roll is going to become dangerous again. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, the Chris Machete Band program is back. Yeah, sounds so dangerous, right? I love that. All right, and hope you're all taking care of yourselves out there, your mental stability. The followers of the Cult of Machete know who follow me on my Instagram, TikTok. I go on spiritual journeys. I don't do them on here, but on my personal media I do. And you may enjoy some of my journeys, some of the stuff I talk about. You may want to try some of the things I do as well. I've been relaxed lately. It's been good. Had a stressful class though on Sunday. Wow, and that really puts me out mentally. I do a class downtown, and there was way too many kids there, and there was a bunch of kids that were just like, I think they just rather be outside playing. I don't know, and their parents were using me as a babysitter. Could possibly be. I don't know if that was true. So anyway, I got a little anxiety over that. So how are you dealing with your anxiety, my friends? I love being outside. I like gardening. I got some primo plants in the backyard of the cannabis variety that I'd love to share with you. If you're checking out my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, I'll be posting my finds, my comic book finds from the auctions, which are really rad. I got some great Spider-Man books and so inexpensive. But most of all, I hope you're taking care of yourself, because you are the most important person in your world and should be. If you do not take care of yourself, if you're always worrying and you have anxiety about all the little things going on, you're not going to perform up here where you should be. And it's not your fault. It really isn't. Just remember that. Don't blame yourself, because you really shouldn't. Another small nugget that happened to me is I had a conversation with someone out and about, said the wrong thing. I felt that the conversation didn't go the right way with someone when I was talking. I was scanning my groceries in, and I wasn't really paying attention. And then when I was done, I looked up at the person and I was like, whoa, I was not paying attention to you, and I'm really not sure what I said yes to. So, damn, stay in the now. I find the anxiety takes me out of what I'm doing, and I can't operate properly. So you may find the same thing. I go out in the forest a lot because it's in my backyard, and I go on some spiritual journeys. So follow me on TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff, Chris Machete. And thanks for tuning in, friends. That was my WWE Saudi Arabia Night of Champions / little bit of AEW Double or Nothing review. And we also did the worst gimmicks in wrestling. That's fun. You gotta love the fun stuff. But don't forget about this, my friends, too. What's the deal? Like, where's Brent tonight? Is he on Raw? Let's watch. You guys let me know if you see LA Knight on Raw. I'm really...
He's signed to SmackDown.
Okay. All right, Brent. Wherever you are, cheers. Okay, my friends. Yeah, peace and love, my friends. And throat punch to the douchebags, right? I may be hippie-like. You may think I'm all about that, but no. I still think a throat punch is deserved sometimes. All right, my friends. Peace, love, be excellent to yourself, okay? Because you can't be excellent to anybody else until you take care of yourself first. Boom, boom. I'm Chris Machete. This is Machete Comics. If you want to buy into my stuff, my posters, my shirts, my coasters, you want to buy me, you rent me out for an afternoon, hit me up. Find me online. Okay, thanks for tuning in, folks. Cheers. Bye, folks.